So I'm so late. I apologize to everybody. I was stuck with a client, had some stuff going on, so I had to get that sorted out. But I'm here, and the Surge Rules of 3 is back for episode 17. Jeez, 17 episodes, that's crazy. I mean, it's going to be a lot more by the end of the year, but still, I'm kind of proud, 17 episodes in. So today I wanted to talk about sales, and I kind of want to talk about sales for the rest of the week, actually, which is really, really cool. Hey, Michael, how you going? So I want to talk about sales for the rest of the week. So let's start today off with 3 little rules to drastically improve your sales meetings, because I know so many people that go into sales meetings and they tell me, oh, I'm lost. I'm completely lost. I was in there and I was talking to this client, and this client asked me the question, and they kept asking me all these random questions, and now I was here, I was over there, and I didn't know what to do, and I got lost, and I started sweating and profusely, and I had to put some roll on, and it was crazy. I didn't know what to do. So how do we solve that? So what I'm going to do today is give you 3 rules to drastically improve the flow and drastically improve your sales meeting, so that you can then therefore drastically improve your sales. Make sense? Okay, let's go. Rule 1. So rule 1 is have a process. This is so common in this day and age, because so many people think that having a process or sales in general is not so important. So many people think that it's all about marketing. So when they get to the sales side of the things, when they sit down in front of someone, they find it very difficult to get their message across, because sales doesn't matter, so to speak. But they don't realize that any meeting you ever have is a sale. Any meeting you ever have, you are selling your product, your service, yourself in some way, or you're listening to someone else do the same thing. So what I want you guys to do is have a process behind how you do that. When you have a process, 3 major things happen. 1, you don't get lost as often. 2, when you do get lost, it's easy to find where you're at, because you can go, well, I just did this, so okay, I'm here. Brilliant, boom, and cut straight back in. And then number 3 is it makes your selling much more consistent. It makes your figures much more consistent. It gives you more consistent results, and consistency is actually what we're after. Consistent growth is what we're after. So have a process. It's extremely important. Start with the process. Now, rule 2 is take control of the direction of the conversation. You see, in this particular situation, you have the knowledge. So when you're in a sales environment and you're selling your product or your service to someone, you're the knowledgeable person, you're the expert. So you need to take control of the sale. You need to take control of the conversation. Why? Hey, Patrina, how you going? Why do we need to take control of the situation when we're the salesperson? Well, I'll tell you, because they don't have the knowledge, so they're going to ask questions that may be irrelevant, right? Which at the time, you can then say, actually, and you can quickly answer the question, that's fine, as long as you're generally in control. But if they steer the conversation off on a massive tangent, it's going to be very hard for you to bring that entire conversation back. So you need to be very careful. Now, we need to understand where their knowledge base is. We need to understand where your knowledge base is, and then we need to educate them to roughly the same knowledge base, if possible, so that we can keep the right direction. How we do that, I'm going to give a quick tip here, is we ask questions. If you want to take control of the direction of the conversation and not get led down a pathway that doesn't solve their problem, and that's the biggest issue with a lack of knowledge, is when they use that lack of knowledge to direct a conversation, they direct themselves to a product or to a service that does not solve their problem. And that's the issue. What we want to do is direct them towards a product or a service that does solve their problem. And that's really important. How we're going to do that is by asking really poignant questions and asking proper questions consistently. Questions of the flow, questions of the direction of the conversation. Okay, guys, so that's rule 1 is have a process. Rule 2 is take control. And rule 3 is own your knowledge. Own your knowledge, 1, for the positive, and 2, for the negative. If you know something, know that you know it. Don't sit in the middle of a sales meeting and when someone questions you on it, you go, I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure I'm right, but you may be right because you're a person who's not in my industry. You need to own your knowledge. You need to understand that you're the expert here. You need to understand that if you know something, there's a high chance you know it. You just know it because you're the expert. So own that. If someone brings up a piece of information that you're pretty sure is wrong, it is well within your rights to say, okay, I can understand how you perceive it that way, but let me educate you as to why it is this particular way. You're the expert and you are incapable of giving them the right service, the right solution, or the right product or service if you don't own the fact that you know what you're talking about, because they're wanting to work with you, not work with someone else or not work with their own knowledge. They're coming to you for your knowledge. The other thing though, on the negative side or on the other side, is own something if you don't know it. If they ask you a question and you genuinely don't know, and it could be as simple as who's someone in this other particular industry that's really good to work with, and you may not know anyone in that industry. You may not be able to give them a genuine recommendation. So don't. So say to them, listen, I've got no idea. I know some people, never worked with them. I have no idea what I'm talking about in that industry, so don't take my word for it. But you also may be able to use your knowledge of your specific industry if they ask you an industry-specific question. And you may be able to say, okay, so I don't know the answer to that, but from what I can tell and from all my previous knowledge, this may be the answer. Let me do some research for you. Or inform them to just go and do some research for themselves or go find another expert in that particular field. However, if you just say or try and make up some stuff in the middle of a sales process, there's a high chance they're going to notice that and it's going to sound completely ingenuine and they're not going to be impressed. And two, there's an extremely high chance that you're going to say something very wrong and then they'll find out and they'll be very angry. And either of those two situations, you lose the sale. So own your knowledge, extremely important. Also, when you own your knowledge that what you do know, you won't get as flustered. And that's the thing. A lot of people in the middle of a customer or a prospect will say, oh, no, but I'm pretty sure it's this way, isn't it? And they go, is it? Is it? Maybe it is. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe the 10 years of experience in this industry is completely wrong. And this one customer who doesn't know very much about my industry, maybe they're right. Maybe they're the one that's right and maybe I'm wrong. So you've got to be really careful that you own the knowledge that you have and know that what you're saying is correct. And that'll help you to continue with the flow of the conversation. So guys, they're my 3 rules to drastically improving your sales meetings. 1, have a process. Pretty important. 2, 1 will help you find yourself and have consistency. 2 is take control of every sales meeting that you're in, because if you take control, you will be able to lead them in the right direction. And rule number 3 is own your knowledge. Confidence is king. And on that note, empower your business, empower your life. Peace.